Our tail of the tape for this welterweight matchup. Take a look at that reach difference. Andrey, the Spartan Koreshkov at 76 inches, where Homasi's at 71. Homasi's got to come forward, step into him to land that power.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents the co-main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And now live on Showtime, we introduce the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 171 pounds, his professional record, 15 wins, 9 losses, fighting out of Delray Beach, Florida, Sabah, the Slick Sheik Homasi. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot 1, weighing in 170 3/4 pounds, the former Bellator welterweight world champion tonight returns with 23 professional victories, 4 defeats, fighting out of Omsk, Russia, presenting Andrey Spartan Koreshkov. And the referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran will be the man in charge for our co-main event. Critical contest at 170 pounds, the return of a former Bellator champion in Koreshkov against the hard-hitting Sabah Homasi.
Ready to fight. Ready to fight. Let's go.
Bell round 1, Koreshkov in the red gloves, Homasi in the blue gloves. Koreshkov competing in his 18th Bellator welterweight bout, the most appearances in Bellator welterweight history, and his 13 wins in Bellator welterweight competition are tied with former 3-time champion Douglas Lima for the most in divisional history. Lima and Koreshkov met 3 times, with Lima winning twice. And for Koreshkov, John, Alexander Shlemenko, former Bellator middleweight champion, in his corner, and you will see signs of Shlemenko style in Koreshkov.
Absolutely, a lot of spinning attacks that the Storm was so famous for. Andrey Koreshkov does those same attacks. It's a smart move right now by Homasi, landing those kicks in the leg, try to slow the movement of Andrey Koreshkov up. Andrey fights very long. He's got good power in everything he throws, and he does have an outstanding wrestling game too.
Homasi wants to give a big shout out to fellow Bellator MMA fighter Roman Feraldo, who recently had to pull out of his scheduled bout against John Ramirez due to the birth of his daughter. She suffered complications at birth and was in critical condition for a while. She's doing much better, and despite all of that, Feraldo made it a point to travel from Key West to Coconut Creek, Florida for Homasi's last week of training. And Homasi extremely grateful, and we want to wish Feraldo's baby girl Maxon all the best.
Absolutely. Right now, Homasi just slowing things down, and that's not a bad thing for him to do right now. These little tiny knees and everything to that inner thigh. It may not look like a lot, but it does start to make the leg heavy. Makes your movement not good. You can see referee Mike Beltran is looking for more, though. He's starting to think about separating it.
Koreshkov seeking the trip takedown. Homasi punching on the break, creating separation. Homasi has 6 wins via first round of knockout. And there's a spinning attack that was countered well, timed perfectly by Homasi.
Well, very nice job of crushing that space and making that spin not work. That's exactly what you do when someone comes in. You can see the foot set up by Koreshkov when he's going to do that. That was a beautiful job by Homasi to step in and now has the back.
Koreshkov believes a couple of big wins and he will be primed for another title shot. He says he doesn't have a huge desire to fight current champion Yaroslav Amosov because, well, they know each other and he would rather fight someone else. Amosov, of course, knocking off Douglas Lima. Lima currently ranked #1. Michael Page ranked #2. Lima and Page will renew hostilities across the pond later this year.
Just a little bit down the road. Homasi again going back to that clinch, and again, it's not real exciting, but this is good work by Sabah Homasi. Koreshkov is doing a good job of controlling the left arm of Homasi, but Homasi with that underhook is able to at least keep his back up against the cage. Nice little left hand by Homasi.
90 seconds left in the opening round. Homasi looking to bounce back from that thriller against Paul Daly. And hey, are we seeing some patience out of Homasi here in the first round?
I'm telling you, we're seeing a lot of patience out of Sabah.
Head kick by Koreshkov, partially blocked by Homasi.
He has a game plan. You can see that he's gone through this.
Oh, there's that flying knee that connected.
Shot.
Rattled Homasi, and now Homasi trying to stifle the offensive onslaught of Koreshkov, managing to do so.
Yeah, but Koreshkov right now, he's in on that single leg. We'll see what he does. If he goes to a high crotch or runs it to a double.
You look at Koreshkov's highlight reel, defeated Vaso Bakosevic in just over a minute with a nasty spinning back kick to the body. 5 knockouts have been a result of devastating knees. There's a back elbow delivered by Homasi.
Nice spinning back elbow by Homasi off of the cage. That's not easy to do.
Homasi began training MMA at 18, made his pro debut in May of 2009. And there's Koreshkov again closing the distance.
That was a nice knee by Andrey Koreshkov.
So Koreshkov reminding Bellator MMA fans of what made him a champion here in round 1.
Nice elbow uppercut combination.
We talk about the styles matchup in this one, John.
Right now, I'm very impressed with what Sabah Homasi has done. I don't think he won the round, but he was in control of himself. He didn't let his emotions go. He didn't go crazy at any point when all of a sudden he was getting hit. He didn't sit there and just try to get it back right away. He was very composed. He's following his game plan. This is a nice job by Sabah Homasi. You know, I thought that Andrey Koreshkov got the round.
Bell round 2, Koreshkov getting instructions from his mentor, his role model, Alexander Storm Shlemenko, who wanted Koreshkov to train in Florida. He did so for the final 3 weeks of camp because it's the same time zone as here at the Mohegan Sun, so getting acclimated to that. Koreshkov fighting out of Omsk, Russia.
Nice use of the uppercut by Koreshkov.
And we talk about the dynamic offensive attack of Koreshkov. 9 of 9 in terms of knees landed. He has 5 knee knockouts in his career.
Take a look at those total strikes. 21 of 41 for Homasi, 25 of 46 for Koreshkov.
And Homasi plying out the jab, attacking the outside low leg kick by Homasi.
Nice little head movement by Homasi.
Koreshkov, body kick.
Again, it wasn't not so much the kick, the knee came up.
What a left hook to the liver by Koreshkov, paralyzing Homasi for a moment, now delivering a couple of knees.
Homasi needs to be able to get a hold of him, slow it down, or move himself off the cage. Nice little reap of the leg by Andrey Koreshkov.
What a beautiful lead left hook to the liver by Koreshkov. You talk about punch placement, John.
That's exactly it. And this is what makes him, he's a sniper. He is so good at just picking his opponent apart, seeing the opening, and then attacking. Nice job by Homasi to get back to his feet, use the cage. Very smart.
Koreshkov practiced ballroom dancing as a child. Forget moves like Jagger, more like moves like Koreshkov, my man. Or I guess Koreshkov wasn't a ballroom dancer, though. But here in this dance of destiny tonight, Homasi looking to bounce back from the loss to Daly. Koreshkov's corner, that's Alexander Shlemenko watching on intently.
Right now, he's happy with what he's seeing from his fighter. Andrey gaining some space there. Beautiful
uppercut, 2 of them, but Homasi exploding forward now.
Nice job by Homasi to answer back.
Homasi misses with the left head kick. Spinning back fist just misses for Koreshkov. And you get the feeling that this could end at any moment. And the knee connects again to Homasi's noggin. Sprawled by Koreshkov.
Homasi diving at the legs. Koreshkov now comes around the back. Homasi trying to use the cage, get himself back to his feet.
Just past the midpoint of the round and fight. Andrey Koreshkov continues to clobber Sabah Homasi. Has him against the fence. Homasi, blood in his eye.
Homasi got cut on that exchange up against the cage from the uppercuts.
And it's the diversity of Koreshkov's attack that you have to be so impressed with.
So perfectly put, Moro. It is the diversity, and what makes him so dangerous is he's good everywhere.
Including wrestling. Takedown with authority.
You saw Homasi try to hook the leg so he could not be elevated. It didn't work. Koreshkov gets him up and is now in full mount.
Koreshkov really went to work on his wrestling after being knocked off by two-time Dan Hodge Trophy winner and former Bellator champion Ben Askren. Has definitely shored up his wrestling since then.
Well, he knew from that fight, okay, there's something I have to do. Right now, Koreshkov's in a position he can get an arm triangle. Homasi trying to work his way to get his back towards the cage to help him get back up.
Koreshkov turns 31 in 10 days, has 4 submission wins on his resume, 3 arm bars and a darts choke. Perhaps fishing for a rear naked choke, but then there he is looking to put his arm underneath Sabah Homasi, a final minute of the round.
This is why everyone wants to avoid Andrey Koreshkov when it comes to getting in a fight, because he's just good everywhere. And when he is in a position, he doesn't get excited. He's smart. Look at him go to the body with the knee. Everything he does is calculated, it's thought out, and it's always in control. Beautiful. Shot right to the ribs with the knee. Homasi trying to sit out on that, did not work.
Trying to escape, final 30 seconds of the second round, and it has been an offensive onslaught for Andrey Koreshkov. 38-9 in terms of strikes landed here in the second round, and he continues to tee off on Homasi.
Homasi hanging tough, but he's going to have to figure out a way to stop the offense of Koreshkov. Let's take a look at some of the action here. Koreshkov with the uppercuts. One of those is what ended up, the knee coming in. Now Homasi gets cut. Beautiful knee right there. That's the one that did it. And then just gets to the position where now, look at that under, he trips the leg, pulls the leg out with his leg. Big flying knee jump. Hit the shoulder first. That's what saved Sabah. Took some of the power off that, then tries to elevate. You see him get past the leg. Now he's got him elevated. Brings him for a ride coming down. Sometimes what will happen is that arm will dislocate. Great job by Andrey Koreshkov.
It wasn't Matt Hughes versus Frank Trigg, but I saw the attempt.
It was close.
Great crowd on hand, firmly invested in all of the action throughout the night here at Mohegan Sun Arena, and we are set.
Ready to fight. Ready to fight. Let's go.
For the third and final round of this welterweight matchup between former Bellator 170-pound champion Andrey Koreshkov, who avoided that wild windmill right hand by Homasi, and Homasi put himself in bad position because of it.
Yeah, definitely. This is big-time overextension. Now his head is in a position he needs to be able to move it away from the elbows. But you have to be very impressed with what Sabah Homasi has been able to do in this fight. He's remained calm. It's just been the techniques. Nice sit out from Homasi, but he still doesn't get out of the position. It's just the technical level of Andrey Koreshkov. He's going to come with another knee to the body here. He's holding the ankle. Look at him drive the head down.
Oh, a nasty knee to the side. Another knee by Koreshkov.
You can see he's thinking about it before. You can see him try to set it up. Everything he throws has power on it.
Well, based on what we have seen thus far tonight from Andrey Koreshkov, and with less than 4 minutes now left in the third round, should Koreshkov prevail, he would obviously crash the top 10 rankings again. And here's a former champion who obviously has designs on getting to the summit again.
Again, like I said, fighting Andrey Koreshkov is not something most welterweights want to do because he is so solid everywhere. You can't find the
And kudos to Homasi coming off an entertaining but bitter defeat to Paul Daly, saying,
Yes.
you know what, I'll step up, I'll prove my worth, I'll show you that I'm a real fighter, and here he is tonight against one of the best in the world.
And that's what you love about Sabah. Look at Sabah has a true belief in himself. And he's in a position right now, he needs to get off of his back. He needs to open up that guard. He was trying to do that earlier. He started taking some shots, and that's why it's closed. But he needs to go back to putting his feet on the hip. He's got to get himself up off of the ground, because if he stays here, he has no chance of winning this fight.
You know, we mentioned that lead left hook to the liver that was one of the more eye-catching shots delivered by Koreshkov, who believes, like I do and so many others, that body shots are extremely underestimated in MMA and even in boxing at times, but we're seeing people begin to go to the body more.
Oh, man. Just look at the way that he does it with the knees, even when it's in the fights on a grounded position. He gets himself to an angle, into a position he can land a heavy knee to the body. Sabah trying to get himself back to the cage so he can get himself back to his feet.
Now Koreshkov looking to put in the hooks, trying to find a way to navigate a potential rear naked choke attempt against Homasi with 2 minutes left in the fight.
Nice job.
Homasi turns into him. Into the open guard of Koreshkov.
Big explosive movement by Sabah to get himself turned. Now he's in a position where he can at least try to posture. You see Koreshkov holding those arms, keeping his posture down so he cannot be hurt.
Oh, heel strikes. Royce Gracie, which UFC was it? The first?
I think that would be number 1.
Final minute and a half of the fight.
Now Koreshkov sitting his back up towards the cage. Sabah, you cannot play. Sabah's trying to hold him down right now. He's taking a lot of shots, but he needs to figure out, I've got to start to posture and start to do damage here. He's trying to keep Koreshkov from using that cage to get himself back up.
Homasi told us he wanted to remain calm, cool, and collected. Now is not that time. He needs to explode. A minute left in this fight.
Yeah, but you got to really be impressed with the fight that Homasi has put on. Yeah,
I am impressed.
I'm saying he's not winning, but he has really fought probably one of the most intelligent
fight IQ,
I've ever seen him fight.
And yet, if he wants to pull out the victory, now's the time to let it all hang out. And that's exactly what he's trying to do.
And it only takes one. I've seen too many fights end heavy elbows from the top position. It only takes one. You can put your opponent out.
It's the flexibility of Koreshkov on display.
Nice job, a rubber guard by Koreshkov. If you can swing that over, you can go to a go-go plata if he wants to bring it under the neck, or he can try it for an uma plata to change positions.
Well, a nice bounce-back performance for Sabah Homasi. It may not be enough to record the victory, but again, he was in against one of the best 170-pounders on the planet, Andrey Koreshkov. Sabah Homasi go the distance. And the bloodthirsty fans not appreciating the nuance and subtleties of the sport, John.
Let me tell you something. Those guys put on a show right there. They both went after it. That was a great fight by Andrey Koreshkov and Sabah Homasi.
Right now, let's find out who won this welterweight fight. Here, once again, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go down to your 3 judges. Your first, Dave Torelli, scores the fight 30-27, while judges Eric Colon and Dave Peabody both seen exactly the same, 30-26. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Andrey Spartan Koreshkov.
A successful return to Bellator MMA for the former welterweight champion Andrey Koreshkov, exchanging pleasantries and respect with Homasi and his camp.